चाओ चाओ दोस्तों, सॉरी डिले के लिए। थोड़ा मेरे एंड से डिले हुआ है क्योंकि रियल लाइफ में मेरा ट्रांसफर विंडो चल रहा था। हर वीक वो बहुत जल्दी आने वाला है, बट वीकेंड का गेम था यूवे वर्सेस रोमा, और मैंने कैल्चो चर्चा पे मैंने क्लेम किया था कि अगर रोमा जीतेगी मैं अपना दाढ़ी काट दूंगा, शेव कर दूंगा, क्लीन शेव। लकीली वो क्लीन शेव हुआ नहीं, बट रोमा केम अवे विद अ पॉइंट विच इटसेल्फ इज अ वेरी वेरी ह्यूज अचीवमेंट। अगर आप मुझे एक हफ्ता पहले बोलते थे कि हाँ रोमा ड्रॉ करने वाली है अवे टू यूवे, आई वुड हैव टेकन इट। और पहली बार 2001 के बाद में रोमा ने क्लीन शीट रखी है एट द यूवे स्टेडियम, अलियांज अरीना, तभी स्टाडियो डेले एपी थी। तो ये भी एक आई वुड से सिग्निफिकेंट स्टेप फॉरवर्ड है। एंड डेरोसी बॉल इज फाइनली कुकिंग, थोड़ा स्लो कुकिंग है, बट फाइनली वी आर एबल टू सी सम ग्लिम्पसेस ऑफ डेरोसी बॉल। तो ये वीडियो में हम यूवे रोमा को थोड़ा क्लोजली एनालाइज करेंगे और थोड़ा इनसाइट्स निकालेंगे before we head on to the other major results in Serie A. So watch the video till the end, and if you're new over here, so do subscribe to the channel to support the community of Italian football fans. Let's start the video. It was so good to see the warm embrace between Thiago Motta and Daniele De Rossi, because obviously दोनों international colleagues रह चुके इटली के लिए। बहुत ही म्यूचुअल रिस्पेक्ट एंड एडमिरेशन है दोनों के बीच में। तो दिस इज अ सरप्राइजिंग चेंज आई वुड से। जनरली यू हैव द ओल्डर मैनेजर्स हु आर वेरी, आई वुड से, क्या बोलते हैं, नॉन एक्सप्रेसिव एंड वेरी कोल्ड स्टोन, but the warmth between De Rossi and Motta was there to see. Roma lined up in the usual 4-2-3-1 setup, or a 4-3-3 in transition, you can say. Just quickly मैं lineup pull करता हूँ. You obviously had Svilar in goal, Celik, Mancini, Endika, Angelino, Cristante. A surprise start for Nicolo Pisilli, हम उसके बारे में बात करेंगे. Matthias Sule, Pellegrini, Salamakers got his debut, and Dobbik as the forward. Paulo Dybala obviously was starting on the bench. Juve lined up with, I would say, quite a similar kind of a fashion that they've been following for the last two games as well. Di Gregorio in goal, Savona, Gatti, Bremer, Juan Cabal in the left, Manuel Locatelli, Fagioli, Cambiaso playing right wing. Such a versatile player, can play literally anywhere. Kenan Yildiz, Mbangula, and Vlahovic up top. So, yeah, first half, I would say, was more of a very tactical game. काफी old school Italian Serie A football. अगर आपको chess matches पसंद है तो overall 90 minutes it was like a chess match. But I would say in the first half both teams were trying to feel each other out. Very minimal chances, and ऐसा नहीं था कि defensive football था जो generally एक बैड रेपुटेशन आता है इटालियन फुटबॉल को कि बोरिंग होता है, ये होता है, बट डेफिनेटली वैसा नहीं था। अगर आप फुटबॉल के शौकीन हो, या आपको अगर फुटबॉल टैक्टिक्स के बारे में इंटरेस्टेड है, या इफ यू वांट टू नो मोर अबाउट द इंट्रिकेसीज ऑफ फुटबॉल कोचिंग, दिस गेम इज a very nice template to study all of that. Lorenzo Pellegrini had Roma's first chance. It was kind of deflected out, and this was in the 12th minute, to be honest. Roma started, I would say, a little bit on the front foot, then Juve got back into the game, obviously. Dusan Vlahovic did have a chance in the 41st minute. It was like, थोड़ा सा आप बोल सकते हो scuffed shot था, but ball में spin था. Mile Sular actually made quite a smart save, because as a goalkeeper, जब बॉल स्पिन होता रहता है, इट बिकम्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू गेज। भले आप ज़्यादा पावर में आप अगर नहीं मारोगे, फिर भी जो स्पिन है, इट कॉजेज ट्रबल टू द गोलकीपर। सो क्रेडिट टू स्विलर फॉर पुलिंग दैट ऑफ. In the second half, Vlahovic, I would say, had the most clear-cut chance. It was blocked off, but this move was actually started by a Zeki Celik error. तो ये आप देख सकते हो स्क्रीन में. Celik actually tried to play the ball through the middle and ended up giving possession to Juve, who had, I mean, they could have scored. Vlahovic के पास में काफी chances थे, but हम बात करेंगे about Ivan Endika. He was absolutely stellar for Roma, probably the man of the match from Roma's perspective. And from Juve's perspective, it was Federico Gatti, who also had a very good performance, neutralizing Roma's attack. आप देख सकते हो कि after this, Juve were in the ascendancy for quite a while in the game, and then Roma brought on their subs, Manu Kone, man. I mean, this clip, the energy that he had was just absolutely amazing. The kind of dynamism that he brought to Roma's midfield was quite refreshing to see. And also a shout out to Nicolo Piselli as well, the youngster who was thrown into his first full game right from the first minute. Again, a Primavera product, born and brought up Romanista. I don't know uska future kya hoga, but at least presently he has impressed Rossi. He was all over the pitch, quite a very, I would say, dynamic number eight, you can say, and he had a decent game. Manu Kone obviously came on for him, and he carried that forward to a next level because Kone is an established French international. So after those changes, I think both teams kind of were settling in for a point. And आप देख सकते हो एक shot था from Angelino that came really close. It just whistled across the post. Di Gregorio had left it. थोड़ा John Anarisa vibes आ रहा था because one of the last times, the second last time that Roma won away in Turin, John Anarisa scored a late header to get all 3 points for Roma. Another left back probably could have got all 3 points, but it was not meant to be. I think overall, the draw was a fair result. Towards the end, I think Roma thoda sa initiative le raha tha. There was another chance. Zalewski also, when he came on, he kind of brought in that energy on the left hand side. There is a clip. I don't know if I'll be able to link it over here, but a chance tha where he could have actually squared the ball to Manu Kone from outside the box. थोड़ा उसका XG तो low ही था because it's from outside the box and you had a bunch of UA players, but he went to cross the ball and he could have rather squared it to Manu Kone, who could have probably had a shot on goal. But वो if and buts वाला game था, so a draw is a fair result. Let's look at some of the player ratings and some heat maps, stats and analytics brought to you by SofaScore. सो या गाइस, ये आप देख सकते हो 50-50 काइंड ऑफ फेयर, आई वुड से, इन पोजेशन. एक्सजीज अगेन लॉन्ग रेंज शॉट्स, व्लाहोविच के शॉट्स इन द बॉक्स थे तो शायद इससे थोड़ा एक्सजी बढ़ गया है. टोटल शॉट्स 8-7, एब्सोल्युटली बैलेंस ओवर देयर. पासेस आप देख सकते हो 475, 487 फॉर रोमा. सो De Rossi is cooking. And yeah, nothing much to write home about here, to be honest. Very even Steven game आप बोल सकते हो. ये डिफेंडिंग की अगर मैं स्टैट्स देखूँ तो आप देख सकते हो कि यूवे वन more tackles, but Roma had more tackles, 14 tackles for Roma, 12 for Juve. Clearances are equal, interceptions are almost the same. So Ivan Endika and Gatti winning the man of the match awards for respective teams is I would say a fair shout in the game. Endika की मैं individual stats देखूँ तो आप देख सकते हो 6 clearances किए उसने, interception 1 किया, 1 shot block किया. Overall his accurate passes were excellent. He is a ball playing center back on the left, brought in by Jose Mourinho and Pinto on a free transfer from Eintracht Frankfurt. 50 million में बिकेगा if he continues this performances to a Premier League club. Watch this space. Yeah, overall quite good stats for Ivan Endika. And just quickly, this is, I would say, Locatelli for Juve had a very good game also, to be fair. And this is Nicolo Pisilli versus Manuel Locatelli. And you can see that Locatelli ka heat map, he was literally a proper number 6. It's there everywhere, yeah. The pivot, he was starting every move, intercepting and breaking down Roma's attack. So Locatelli had a very nice game. He played 67 minutes, but he was very effective in those 67 minutes. Pisilli की बात करो तो you can see he was more towards the right hand side of Roma's midfield and काफी advanced positions में गया. Again, a very young lad from the Roma academy, and his I would say his key passes, जो उसका 2 है, that is the metric to watch out for, because he is the guy who will bring the attacking players into play. तो काफी अच्छा गेम था. एंड एक जो बंदा जिसको हम लोग रेगुलरली क्रिटिसाइज करते हैं, ब्रायन क्रिस्टांटे, he had a decent game as well. You can see his heat map versus Locatelli. Obviously he played a full 90, but to be fair, Brian Cristante did have a decent game, and by that I mean 7.1 जो उसका rating है. 7 is a fair rating, I would say, because Cristante is expected to deliver a 7 for 90% of his games, because he plays 90% of games for Roma. ऐसा कोई भी प्लेयर नहीं है जो इन मॉडर्न टाइम्स फॉर रोमा, जो कंसिस्टेंटली इतने सारे मैचेस खेले, क्रिस्टांटे का वो एक खासियत है. आई नो ही डज हैव अ फ्यू बैड गेम्स एंड अस फैंस वी टेंड टू get like थोड़ा सा aggressive towards him, but this is what he brings to the table against a top UVA side. So credit where it's due. I think he really did well. और कोई stats में I think इंडिविजुअल रेटिंग्स में मैं जाना नहीं चाहता हूँ पर से. हाँ, स्टार्ट ऑफ द लाइनअप में मैंने दिखाया था जो उसमें रेटिंग्स भी थे. सालामैकर्स अनफॉर्चुनेटली डिड नॉट हैव अ वेरी ग्रेट डेब्यू, 6.3 का रेटिंग है. Sule was quite decent, very I would say काफी trying to do a lot of things with the ball. Dybala did not have a very bright game after coming on from the bench, but otherwise you can see defenses on the top. Similarly for Juve, you know, all the 4 defenders and De Gregorio on the top. Locatelli को 6.8 दिया, but I think he was far better than 6.8. Keenan Yildiz tried to do stuff, but I think Roma's defense kind of left him isolated, so he couldn't really get a lot of space. Couple of times he had a few shots which rocketed, on top, but otherwise nothing very spectacular from either attacks, Juve or Roma. So, yeah, this was the tactical breakdown. Analytics and stats were brought to you by SofaScore, and Juve Roma. I know a draw hai, but I think De Rossi would be the happier of the two managers. As I said at the top of the video, De Rossi ball is definitely cooking. I'm excited to see what happens after the international break. अब तो यार मैं तो वही सोचा क्लब फुटबॉल वापस जल्दी आए so that we can get back to club football. Roma have signed Hermoso and Mats Hummels on free transfers, and both of them have had their first training session with De Rossi. So I'm very excited to see both of them on the pitch for Roma. But we will bring this video to a close. I hope you guys like this video, the tactical analysis and breakdown of Juve versus Roma. For more such content, do hit the subscribe button. I'll be bringing all Roma content to you throughout the season on this very channel. And for all things Italian football, you can head to Calcio Churcha, where we speak about Italian football in depth. The Azzurri are playing against France और हम लोग की फटी पड़ी है. हम लोग मतलब हम सारे जो Italian football fans हैं, barring Param Thuram is a France fan, so he's, I think, licking his fingers because he can probably anticipate France scoring at least 3 to 4 goals against Italy. But all that is on Calcio Churcha. You were on Ajay Menon Talk Sport, and this was the breakdown of Juve Roma. I'll see you guys in another video sometime soon. Until then, ciao, sempre Forza Roma.